Hello, this is David from Car.Cornwall in Penryn. Today we have a repair on a Mini door, which started off with the best intentions, but in the end I had to do a much bigger repair than I'd planned. Just beside that piece of tape are a couple of dings in the bodywork. They would have been good candidates for paintless dent repair, but there is paint damage in there and it's quite deep, so it needs to be filled. So the first job is to sand it down and fill it. I've left the tape there to make sure I don't go too far, and what I'm doing is using an 80 grit abrasive to get deep into the damage to make sure that the filler will adhere. I'm applying one coat of filler. It's a good coat because I think that the depth of the damage is not so great that it will require more, and then the infrared lamp goes on to cure it. Here I am sanding with 180 grit abrasive and a vacuum suction device there to take away the dust. The black powder going on there is just to give me a guide. It's called guide coat or dry coat, and it will show any depressions that may need a second coat of filler. Now I'm spraying on some panel cleaner just to have a good look in the light to make sure that the dent is absolutely level, because the next step is to mask up the car ready for primer. My plan was to paint and lacquer halfway into the door and into the adjoining front panel, and so all the masking work that you see me doing here is based on that premise. So I'm now using a 1000 grit pad with degreaser to clean that panel and prepare the paintwork for the lacquer. I'm removing any pieces of trim that will come off easily. On Minis sometimes these pieces of trim don't want to come off. Once the trim pieces are off, I can clean around and make sure there's no dirt stuck anywhere and that the paint is going to stick properly. I'm now going to use a 2000 grit abrasive in the area where I'm planning to fade the lacquer, and of course followed by lots of cleaning. Sanding with 320 grit around the area in preparation for priming. And now the masking starts. I'm masking with a view to paint halfway into the door and lacquer just beyond that, so I'll be putting some paper in to act as a kind of tunnel to minimize the amount of overspray, and you'll see that going on shortly. The first piece of paper is being positioned for lacquer, and I'm putting a second piece over the top of that, which will be to protect the bodywork from paint overspray. So there'll actually be two layers, one of which should be removed prior to lacquering. So we've got the first one on, and then we put the second level of paper on. Just for good measure, some more cleaning. I'm applying a high build 2-pack primer to make sure that I can sand down to get the panel perfectly smooth. After curing with infrared lamps, I can apply some dry coat so that when I sand down I can make sure there are no low areas which need to be dealt with. I'm sanding initially with 320, then down to 400 in preparation for the base coat or colour. Then, surprise surprise, more cleaning. It's at this point I notice a little defect just to the right of the original damage, so I need to take care of that, and I've used a little bit of stopper on that just to fill it and then sand it down, and got it sorted. Now what that did was to move the paint area towards the right a bit. Before I started painting, I did a colour check to make sure that I had a colour that was a good match, and here I'm applying that paint to the car. But what I'm noticing is that because I've had to move the repair a bit to the right, as you can see I've moved the paper, the edge of the colour is showing up, and no matter how much I try and blend it out, it's just not blending correctly. So in the end I decided to bite the bullet and open the repair out completely. Unfortunately I forgot to press record on that to record the process of opening the repair out, but basically what I did was to move the preparation out, mask up the handle, and now I'm painting, and you can see that I'm moving out more towards the edge of the door but not going to the edge, in order to soften that blend and make sure the paint is correctly applied. Once it's all dried with air, then the first coat of lacquer goes on. It's the whole door that's being lacquered now, and that front panel. The second heavier coat of lacquer goes on. You see it's a little slower, and allow that to blend out, run out a little bit, so that it minimises the orange peel. The infrared lamps are on to cure the lacquer, and I'm starting to remove some of the film, so I'm ready to do the polishing once it's all dried off. I'm using a denim pad for the first pass of polishing, so that way I can blend the lacquer correctly into the existing bodywork so it all matches and looks the same. After that, move down the compounds progressively to bring a good shine to the car, ready for washing and delivery to the customer. Final job is to remove the last of the masking and refit the trim. Sometimes you get tiny little bits of masking tape caught, like they are in this one, just a tiny piece stuck behind that plastic trim. But then you get the parts back in, and the car's ready to go. It was around this point the customer arrived, so I had to quickly finish off and get the car out to them. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to leave any comments, please do so. Thank you.